everyone, this is Lori from CNL Botanicals. This is my Variegated Alocasia Polly that was reverting. After it put out 2 green leaves, I decided to cut the top off, root it, and then I gave it away to my boyfriend's mom. This is what I'm left with a few weeks later. The tuber has 3 active growth points, one of which put out this gorgeous leaf. I have no idea what kind of variegation this is, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to harden off to find out. The mother plant has put out both aurea and pink variegation, but this doesn't look like either. Here it is, right next to a window in indirect light. My plan is to separate this little plant at the very base where the stem meets the tuber. I think I'm going to air layer it first so that it has some roots to work with. I'll simply wrap some sphagnum moss at the base of the stem and wait about a week or 2 for it to start rooting. Alocasias root extremely quickly, in my experience anyway. Once I separate it, one of these 2 growth points will most likely take off and grow into a new plant. Just look at how stunning this variegation is. Despite the top reverting on me, every corm it has produced has developed into a highly variegated plant. I didn't get a chance to document myself separating this baby, but several weeks after I made the cut, here's what I'm left with. You can see I kind of dug into the tuber a little bit because the roots were mostly growing out of there rather than the stem of the leaf. This is what it looks like today. The first leaf turned out to be a minty aurea color, and the second leaf is aurea and absolutely stunning. You can see it's also fully rooted. After cutting, the lower growth point put out this beautiful half-moon pink variegated leaf. I think it's just so amazing how these 2 totally different looking plants grew from the same tuber, especially looking at it side by side like this. Today I'm going to be separating this little plant. If you look up close, you can see that it does have some roots already at the base of the stem. Now the reason why I keep separating these plants as soon as they have some roots is because if I leave them on, the buds will remain dormant and any active growth points will slowly die back. This is because all of the energy is being directed towards the top growth, which is this leaf. You can see this happening here. This was an active growth point that died back after the lower one decided to take off. My guess is that after I make the cut, this growth point will be the next one to push a leaf. Okay, let's get to it. I'm going to first empty out some of this potting mix so that I can get a better look at the roots. Now that I've done that, I can see that there are 2 little roots forming at the base of the stem. When I make the cut, I want to stay as close to the tuber as possible so that I don't accidentally cut these roots off. Okay, here we go. First, I'm doing an up and down motion with the blade while keeping the tip of the blade in the same place. This just helps me get a more accurate cut. Now when I feel that I'm most of the way through, that's when I'll lightly slice away using the tip of the blade until the little plant is separated from the main tuber. And there we have it. I'm going to put this in stratum to root, and in about 2 or 3 weeks, it should be pretty established. I'm going to dump this potting mix back into the original pot, and I'll let this little stump do its thing. Here's one final look at the pink variegated half moon baby in stratum. It's looking so pretty. I hope the second leaf is just as nicely variegated, and I think it will be. Here's the larger sibling plant again to compare. Which one do you guys prefer? I personally can't pick. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing.